Welcome back, guys, to Sharpen Your Sword podcast. Today on episode 31, we are going to talk about mindset, guys. The power of mindset and the different kind of mindsets that are out there. And like always, I have the number one co-host in the world, Giovanni Jimenez. What's up, Gio?
Hey. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? I'm excited to talk about mindset. You know, I think, so I started working with you and I started training jiu-jitsu. But seriously, I realized everything mainly comes down to mindset, you know? And people think it's corny, it's cringy. When I used to hear, it's mindset. I'm like, what? I really didn't get it. So you start applying mindset and you realize, wow, it really is all mindset.
Yeah. And I'm a firm believer in the power of the mind, okay? I think everything that we do, everything that we can accomplish can be either impacted in a positive or negative way by the mind. Okay, if you have full control of your mind, I think you can accomplish a lot of things. It doesn't matter what field you're in. If you have a grasp on your mindset, a strong mindset, you can accomplish many things that you want. But if your mindset has a grasp on you, there's not much that you will be able to accomplish. And fulfillment of your life is probably not going to be as joyous. Okay, you're going to struggle with a lot of things if your mindset is in control of you, okay? Because your mindset is going to have you perceive things. Perception is a big thing, okay? As human beings, we perceive things as good and we perceive things as bad. But if our mindset is in control of us and we perceive everything as negative or bad, then it's going to be like a rotten fruit, but it's going to rot from the inside out instead of the outside in. You know what I mean? And so if you rot from the inside out, which humans rot from the inside out, right? Not like apples or fruit, then you're going to, fight depression. You're going to fight anxiety. You're going to fight, not being happy. You're going to fight having no fulfillment in life. You're going to fight not having fulfillment or joy in your relationships and your endeavors, whatever that is, And so anytime I talk to people, I kind of see where their mindset is at. And if I'm coaching you or I'm close to you, I'm always going to push you to strengthen your mindset. And I'm always going to remind you the importance of your mindset. Because the mind is a super powerful thing. And for you guys that follow the podcast, that's one of our swords, is the mind.
Yeah.
And so this cannot be dull. Because if this is dull, you're going to lack a lot. Okay, you can be the strongest, sharpest sword physically, but if your mindset sword is dull, it's going to prevent you from achieving so much. Okay, you can probably run fast, but how long can you run, or how far can you run? You probably get in good physical condition, but how are you thinking up here? You may look good physically from the outside, but how do you look from the inside? And that's the power of the mind. And so you cannot have a weak mindset. You cannot have a negative mindset. And to go even further, you cannot have a weak mindset or a dull sword as a mind if you plan on achieving things, great things. Okay, if you want to be a great athlete, if you want to be a great entrepreneur, if you want to be a great husband, wife, doesn't matter what it is. If you want to be great at anything, it's not going to happen with a bad mindset, with a dull sword as a mindset. It's not going to happen. Okay? I don't know if there's somebody out there that will tell you it's possible. It's not possible. If you have a negative mindset, a bad mindset, a weak mindset, and I'm talking about great. I'm not talking about can you still do things. No, I'm talking about great. You will not be able to achieve it.
Yeah.
And so it's very important to sharpen that sword daily and to perceive things and talk to yourself and have your perception a certain way, or to rewire the way you're thinking when 100%. You see things,
100%. I agree. Like I said, mindset is everything. It shapes your worldview. It shapes the way you view the world. And then I think especially in today's age, it was funny enough, we were in the sauna the other day. Brutal experience being in the sauna because I had clothes on. But then my mind was tested, right? It was like first 20 minutes is okay. Then we had to do another 20 minutes. And then you said it was like the last 10 minutes. Like this is like the hardest part, the last 10 minutes. and it was really the hardest part, right? And it just came down to your mind, controlling your mind. And there was points where I just felt like running out the sauna, right? But I didn't run out because I'm like, man, I'm like a punk. And God, come on, let's finish. But in there, we're talking to this one dude, right? He was talking about, oh, you guys do jiu-jitsu. Like nowadays, everybody's soft. And you're like, you mentioned something that's very powerful. Like I think that athletes recognize that a lot of the stuff is going on. A lot of people getting diagnosed with anxiety and depression. It's mental, for the most part. Mm-hmm. And I think athletes realize that because they exert themselves in a lot of athleticism when it comes to sports and grinding. It comes down to mindset. Are you gonna quit? And when it gets hard, you're gonna keep going. And then I think that was very powerful. Like you said, your worldview is that whether you quit or you give up, right? Mm-hmm. And then think if you look at the world very negatively, then you start drowning, And I think if when I was in the sauna, at one point I was like, fuck, I can't breathe, like this is killing me. And then you're like, empty your mind, like breathe, right? You start breathing, you stop thinking about how much it sucks. Mm-hmm. And you just keep going longer and longer. You can go longer than what you think you can go when you have a positive mindset. But when you start noticing all the negative, then you start to drown, and you drown yourself, Then you get anxiety, you get depression, you get all this negative stuff, and they get you on pills, and then now you believe that you need these pills or whatever the case, right? Not to get too deep into conspiracy, but I use the reality of it, If I go to the doctor and tell him I feel so-and-so, and he'll throw some pills at me.
Yeah.
And he won't recommend me to work out, or he won't tell me to exercise my mind.
Yep. 100%, And we're going to kind of rewind, right? And say, what is mindset, right? Mindset is the collection of your thoughts, your ideas, the patterns, your thought patterns, your mindset patterns, the patterns that you perceive things. All this, okay, put together to shape the way you see things, okay? How do you perceive things and how do you react to it? That's your mindset, okay? How do you react to everything that's going on around you, okay? That is what mindset is, and this is what influences you as you approach different things, challenges, whether they're small or they're big, okay? Your mindset is what's gonna come into play, okay? And no matter what you do, guys, your mindset is always working, okay? I learned this a while back, and I forgot who I was listening to, and they said, your mind as a human being was designed to protect you from outside stimulus. So any kind of hard stress, anything hard, right? Your mind is to protect you, like, hey, you're in danger, or hey, you don't exert yourself, don't overwork yourself. That's what your mind is consistently doing. If you go on a hard run, what is your mind telling you?
This hurts.
Stop, relax. You're in the sauna, getting cooked, you know what I'm saying? What is it telling you? Get out, get some fresh air. It's colder outside. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So everything it does is it's telling you to get the heck out of Dodge, okay? And guys, again, this is part of one of the swords that we carry is the mind. So it cannot be dull. It cannot be dull. This is something that we have to sharpen every single day, okay? And one of the ways that you sharpen it is by reframing, repicturing, okay? Rethinking the way things are coming from your mind. If it's like, hey, just stop. No, why am I going to stop? I can do this. I can accomplish this. Well, hey, it's hard. It's hot in here. Yeah, I know it's hard and hot in here, but I can still do it. You know what I mean? I can accomplish this. I'm mentally sharp. I'm mentally strong to do these things, And so the mindset is going to decide whether you can achieve great things or not, okay? And I've said it, most people live life on what they focus on. Mm-hmm. They don't live life to its fullest. You know what I mean? They live life to that circle that bullseye they're looking on. They don't get to see everything outside. Okay? To truly see, to really enjoy life is to live to the fullest. And so we need to know where we're getting stuck. And in a fixed mindset, which is one of the mindsets, fixed or growth mindset, when you're in a fixed mindset, you're stuck right there. You're on this bullseye. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, these are the cards I'm dealt, and these are the only cards I'm going to have for the rest of my life. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Now, this is a problem. Okay? This is a problem, and you guys have to be honest with yourself when it comes to this. There's no point to lie. Your body knows, your conscience knows if you're lying to yourself. You can say, hey, yeah, I'm working hard at my work, or I'm working out hard, to hit my goals. Your body can say, yeah, you're okay. Yeah, you're lying. You know what I mean? There's just, the body knows.
Yeah.
It knows. Your mind knows. Your conscience knows. But here's the problem: is if you say that and you lie to yourself, you're only killing your mindset. Because the mindset is rewarded best when you say you're gonna do something and you do it. That's what it likes. That's how you sharpen the sword. Is when you say you're gonna do something and you do it.
100%. You know, it's one of the biggest confidence killers. Just that when you make a promise to yourself and you don't do it, and you over and over and over again, or you don't finish something that you started, your mind knows to not trust you. And if your own mind, you can't trust yourself, you're gonna have no confidence in yourself.
Yep.
You know. So I realized one of the biggest confidence killers was not keeping promises to yourself. You know. So you got right. We got the positive mindset. We're gonna keep talking about it, but people lie to themselves, right? They say I think positively. I'm a growth mindset, right? I'm working hard, all this stuff. But what are some characteristics that you notice in people, right? Just listening to them talk and how they view things, right? And have conversations. Some characteristics that you notice that person has a fixed mindset.
So the fixed mindset is where these individuals think their abilities, like their talents, whatever it is that they can achieve, their physical conditioning, their physical capabilities, their mental capabilities, their how smart they are, their intelligence, it's fixed. That's it. They can't do nothing about it. Okay? That's what a fixed mindset is. And so some of these characteristics of these people avoid hard challenges. They don't want to get out of the comfort zone. Because they already a few steps behind. They're like, oh, well, what's the point of me doing this? I'm going to lose anyway. Or I'm not going to achieve this anyway. Right? So they're going to avoid the hardships. They're going to avoid getting out of the comfort zone. Okay? They're going to give up easily. Why? Again, because they have already accepted defeat. They've accepted the fact that I'm only intelligent enough. These are the only abilities I have. There's nothing I can do about them. This is what God gave me. This is the only thing I have, and there's nothing I can do about it. As if you can't get smarter. As if you can't get stronger. As if you can't get sharper. As if you can't sharpen your swords. Okay? So these are some of them. They're avoiding challenges. They're giving up easily. They're seeing there's no point in trying. Right? You see, hey, what's the point of me trying to beat this guy? Or what's the point of me trying to do this thing? Okay? There's just a few of them. And some of them is when you give them feedback, they completely ignore it. They take it negative.
Yeah, so there's criticism.
There's bad criticism, right? Well, people joke is like they made a new term, constructive criticism, right? No, it's still criticism, bro. It's okay to critique me. It's okay. I'm not going to be upset. Now, if you're critiquing me and you don't know anything, yeah, shut up, right? But if you're critiquing me and you know what you're talking about, let me hear it because I'm going to learn something. You know what I mean? I want to learn something. I want to hear what you got to say because I'm going to learn something from it. Well, this is different. This is the growth mindset is where I'm getting to now, right? But the fixed mindset, they don't want to hear it. You can't teach me nothing. Okay? Whatever you say is is pointless because it's not going to help me. You don't get it. You don't understand me, bro. You don't get what I have. You know what I mean? I've been screwed over by so many people. I've been stabbed in the back. I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough. There's just some of the things on the criticism part, right? And these people envy a lot of other people that are successful, right? They're threatened by the success of other people. Because again, when you have a fixed mindset, when you have a negative mindset, you feel like you're inferior.
Yeah.
When you see somebody in the room or in your circle that's just like a go-getter, it's like, hey, we're doing this. Come on, what are we doing? Okay? this fixed mindset person cannot get along, cannot see where the growth mindset person's coming from. And the growth mindset person for sure has no sympathy for the fixed mindset person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it recognizes a mindset.
It recognizes the mindset. And most people that are obsessed with the mindset tend to kind of go overboard sometimes, right? And it's like, bro, like almost sometimes if you don't pay attention, you overlook the other person. Mm-hmm. And the truth is, we've all been there. We've all been in this fixed mindset position. And sometimes you do get in that fixed mindset. Even if you're a killer and you're a high performer and you're killing it in business or in school or whatever it is, sometimes you have days or times in your life where you're just stuck. Mm-hmm. Your mind is in the gutters. You know what I'm saying? And when your mind gets there, then it's hard to get out of it sometimes.
100%. You know? I agree. And I think one of the things that, talking about criticism, is that there's some people why they can't take criticism is because I feel that some of it is also has to do with insecurity in the sense that they feel like if you criticize them, they feel like they're not complete. Mm-hmm. You know, and this also goes back to their worldview is that they think they're complete. They think that I'm perfect. And since you think you're complete or perfect, then, and with that kind of mindset, there's no reason to try to improve and grow because I'm complete. Mm-hmm. So what's the purpose of me doing self-development and trying to get better if I'm complete as a person? So when you think like that, there's no room like to even try to develop yourself. Yeah. Because you can't be criticized because you're complete, you feel whole, or it makes you feel secure. You do notice that in a lot of people is that they feel like there's no room for improvement, that they can't improve. Therefore, if you can't improve, how can you improve something that's finished, you know? And I think the feeling threatened is also a big thing. Is that, but and this when it comes to you notice people that are envious and because they have this fixed mindset, and it's almost like they believe that the universe and the world, God, whatever it may be, chose you over them. Because they believe that things are just set in stone to be how they are. And that envy and jealousy comes from that they feel like, kind of like a child that was overlooked by his son or whatever. I mean, a child was overlooked by the parent. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you got favorites. They kind of look at people like, oh, they're favorites by God. Because why do they get that, but I didn't get that? Why were they born to have that and not me? Mm-hmm. You know? And you see in that the way they talk, the way that, like, it's almost like that green mist. Right. Like, just devious, just nasty aura, you know? Very vile aura. If you think like that, of course you'll never achieve anything, you know? Right.
And that's going to be the biggest problem with a fixed mindset is that a lot of these people will be stuck in that same position for a long time, right? And wonder why they are not hitting the next level, why they're not getting a job promotion, why they're not making more money, why are they not living the life that they want, right? Why are they not achieving their dreams? You know, why am I not a great husband? Why am I not a great wife? Why am I not a great boyfriend, girlfriend? You know what I mean? Why am I not a great friend? Because, again, you believe that the cards that are given to you, that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, guess what? You have a mouth for the most part, okay? You have a mouth, you have eyes, you have a brain, you can think. Mm. You need to take this. A fixed mindset is think about it like this. Your brain is here, and there's chains wrapped around it, and there's a lock on it. That's a fixed mindset. There's no neuroplasticity, right? Your brain is not. You can't grow it. You can't get smarter. Your abilities can't get better. Your intelligence can't get better, stronger, smarter, right? And so what you want to do is, and we're going to lead into the second part, is the growth mindset. What you want to do is you want to unlock that lock. You want to take that lock off, and you want to take the chains off. Okay? Now you're going into the growth mindset. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now in the growth mindset, there is no boundaries. There is no restrictions, right? I am the decider of what I can achieve. I'm not restricted by my abilities, my talents, my intelligence. all this can be grown. All this can become better. All this can become sharper through hard work and dedication and putting one foot in front of the next and sharpening my sword. Okay? That's growth mindset. I can achieve anything that I want as long as I do the work and prepare myself for it. Mm-hmm. You need to find a goal or something that pushes you. The why, right? Don't worry about the how. The how you'll figure out 10,000 ways when it comes time to it. You need to attach yourself to the why first. And in the growth mindset, a lot of people do this. What is it that I want? Why is it that I want it? Now, when you figure this part out and have a strong why to it, now you will start looking at how can I achieve it? Instead of thinking about how I achieve it, and then you don't have no purpose. You don't have no drive. So the person with the growth mindset is going to do exactly that. They're going to grow their mind. They're going to grow their self outside of this box to get to achieve what they want.
100%. That's crazy. And so what are some characteristics? We talked about the characteristics of the fixed mindset. So what are some characteristics you notice in people that do have a growth mindset? How do they speak? How do they carry themselves? How do they approach tasks and problems and just approach life in general?
So these guys are gonna be like they get inspired by other people, right? They're gonna be inspired by other people. When there's a failure, they don't necessarily break down and quit from failure, and it's usually the opposite. When they fail, it's actually motivation. It's actually gasoline on the fire, right? And so they want to go harder. When they fail, when they lose, they want to do something to, no, this is not how we're going to roll. I have something I want to achieve. I'm going to try to get it no matter what. And so this is the biggest thing is the failures don't stop them, right? In the fixed mindset, they fail and they're like, oh, of course I knew I was going to fail. I'm not smart enough.
Yeah.
I don't have the intelligence. I don't have the abilities. I don't have the talent for this. You know what I mean? Rather than the growth mindset, even if they don't have the talent for it, they make up for it with hard work, right? Because not everybody's talented. Not everybody can play basketball and go to the NBA, right? Not everybody's going to be an entrepreneur or have the talent to be a natural entrepreneur. No, some people can do it and not have the education and still make it happen, right? I know guys that have, I look at them like, how did you make so much money? Like, you're not that smart.
Yeah.
Like, that's serious. And they have the most money. But they had perseverance, right? They listened. When somebody said, hey, do this better than this, or it's better to do this, the criticism, they listened. They didn't take it as a threat. They didn't take successful people as a threat. They took them as like a partner. They took them as like a teammate. They took them as like somebody that can help them achieve what they want. And so they're more open-minded. They're willing to change and to grow to achieve what they want.
Yeah, that's crazy. And one time that you mentioned, one time talking about like you see people, they achieve things and it motivates you, right? Mm-hmm. I remember a couple years ago, it was 2023. It was like you and Ben went to nationals, right? And I saw y'all were training hard. I'm like, man, that looks brutal as hell, right? And I had a negative mindset at the time, right? In terms when it comes to competition, believing that like, man, like my jiu-jitsu's not that good, it might not be national level, right? Now, fudging, Ben went and he won that, right? And I'm like, damn, it's possible to win from a gym like ours, right? Not to say that like there's anything wrong with our gym, whether it's lackluster, but usually you see that guys that win big tournaments, they come from like these gyms that are like run by superstars, right? Like by just celebrity athletes, and that they have the best of the best, and only if you're there can you achieve great things, right? That's what my mind was at the time.
So you
right?
saying Coach Mo ain't no superstar, bro?
No, but that's how I thought at the time, right? I'm like,
man, get out of here. Get out of here.
That was another fixed mindset, thinking that other people have something that you cannot have access to, right? That's another fixed mindset. But Ben went and he won nationals. That opened my eyes like, dang, you can freaking win, Then we went back next year. That year, which was this year, we took a bigger crew, and the stars aligned for me, and then I won, right? But I saw that he did it, and I was able to be like, dang, you can do it, you know? I could have easily been a fucking hater, like, man, he's a natural athlete, he's just smarter, he's better than me, that's why he can win, all that stuff, right? That's a fixed mindset. But I think this is the example of my personal life. But I heard this thing by Grant Cardone. It said, I'd rather have the mindset of a 5-year-old kid than the mindset of a grown man. He was like, a 5-year-old kid, he'll believe he'll go to Mars. He'll believe he'll travel through space. He believe he'll build the biggest thing ever. He'll believe whatever, and he believe that he can do it. Mm-hmm. Like, talk to an older man, right? 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. They'll put if, buts, and maybes. They'll put so many excuses as to why they cannot do it. He was like, so people always talking about, oh, you act like a child, you think like a child. He was like, I'd rather think like a child. Because grown men, they're complacent. They're happy with what they have, and they don't believe they can achieve the great things. They don't believe that, like their inner child, that the world could be theirs and it could be their playground, and therefore they're just happy with living a mediocre life, right? But if you want to live that life, it's okay. But most people don't want to live that life, and they lie to themselves, and they start saying, "Oh, you got to be grateful for what you have." You do got to be grateful for what you have, of course, but then they start masking it. You know, you see it. They start masking it, saying, "Oh, this is what God gave me," and I'm not gonna complain for what God gave me. Or all this stuff, or it's what God wanted this for me, right? God, that says, whatever book you read, it says God wants the best for you. He says, if you're a son of God, God wants the best for you. God doesn't want you to live paycheck to paycheck. God does not want you to have to look at people with your mouth opened, right? God does not want you to be in that position of lack. He wants you to be great, to be big, so you can give back and spread his word, right? That's what God wants for you. So why are you saying that God wants you to drive around a 1989 Honda Civic? You know? So.
What's wrong with the Honda Civic, cuz?
Ain't nothing wrong with the Honda Civic.
You just calling me out and everything.
Hey, nothing wrong with the Honda Civic if it's decked out. But it's just an example, you know?
Yeah.
They don't have to say that you have to be ungrateful. It's just a fixed mindset, you know?
Yeah. And what you're saying is 100% true. You know, like, now, like, obviously when we start talking about religion and whatnot, like, people say, thank God, like, or God wants me to have this, or God wants me to have that, right? To a certain extent, that's true. You know, I think you should be grateful regardless of how little you have or how much you have. But it also says you got to do your part. You have to do your part. You know what I mean? You have to do your part. And you have to expand the mind, guys. Bottom line, you will not achieve greatness if you don't expand your mind, okay? How much you expand your mind, how much you decide to expand your mind will decide how much you achieve. You know what I mean? And if you want this, guys, if you want to grow your mindset, okay, you have to figure out or write down what triggers you. What's preventing you from doing this, okay? It may be avoiding hard things. Okay, if you avoid hard things, you need to make a mental note of this. I'm avoiding hard things. What can I do to not avoid hard things? Or what am I avoiding? Okay, let me fix this. Let me correct this. Let me go for that thing that I'm avoiding. That's a start on how I can grow my mind. I'm avoiding reading a book because it's hard or it takes discipline, or working out 3 times a week or 4 times a week, whatever it is. Let me start with that so I can expand my mind, right? So I can sharpen my sword, okay? So you have to do things to get you there. It's not going to just land in your lap. If you listen to the beginning of this episode and you're like, man, I have a fixed mindset. Well, guess what? It's not the end of the road for you. It's not the end of the tunnel yet. Unless you decide. Unless you perceived it as this is it for me. This is how I'm going to live the rest of my life. Okay? And most people live that way. They are given a job, 9 to 5, whatever the job is, and they're not happy there, but they're like, this is what I got. This is nothing I can do about it. Yeah, you can do something about it. 100% you can do something about it. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm also not telling you to go jump, jump off the cliff and say, well, Mo said I can do it, so just do it, just jump.
Yeah.
No, you gotta make the right calculations. You gotta make the right decisions. You know what I mean? You gotta put the right effort. Okay, but what is the quote? It's not what life throws at you. It's how you see it, perceive it. There's a famous quote I'm trying to think of. It's not what's given to you guys. It's what you make of the whole situation. If you only go with what's given to you, then I don't see that you're going to see fulfillment. Now, some people will, but it depends on what you want and what you see as success. Okay? Some people ask to win the lottery. And they say, hey, I have to win $300 million. I want the $300 million lottery. And that will make me happy. And then after a few years, guess what? They're not so happy.
Yeah.
Because is it the money that's the problem, or there's something else? The way they see things, the way they picture things, the way their mind reads things. You know what I mean? So that's just one thing to grow your mind. The other thing is how you perceive failure. Is it the end of the road? Or you see it just as a bump in the road and I can still achieve what I want? Most people see it as the end of the road. It's like a dead end. Yeah. Failure is not a dead end. The more you fail, the better chance you will have of success if you keep going. Just that simple. The more you fail, the better you have at success if you keep going.
100%.
100%.
I agree. And one thing I want to talk about growth mindset remind me of this story. It's when it comes to the cards that life deals you, right? I have this rash card that says, play that life has dealt you, right? And so now, you got to be honest. Some people do get dealt a better game, right? Some people are born into fudging mega rich families, right? And so you have better opportunities. Some people are born into very humble families, And so, of course, some people are born more ahead of you, right? But it's not about the card that you're dealt. It's how good can you play the card you've been dealt, And so there was this one guy, there's a famous example. So Shaq is like 7 foot tall, I think. And there was this 5'4" player in the NBA. And so this guy made it to the NBA as a 5'4" player. He became an all-star in the NBA, right? He didn't win MVP. He didn't reach as many accolades as Shaq, right? Shaq became an all-star. He won MVPs. He won championships, right? But when you look at both the cards these guys were dealt, right? Now, on the outside, just looking at individually, Shaq had more achievements, right? Shaq went further. But when you look at it of where their starting line was at, this guy went far more further than Shaq did. Because he played his card to the best of his abilities. And he squeezed everything he had out of his card. And Shaq squeezed it out, but he did not squeeze as much as the other guy did. Even though the guy fell short in terms of accolades, when it came to who went the longest distance with what they had, the 5'4" guy went far longer than Shaq. And I think that's a big example of, it's not, like you said, it's not what you get, it's what you do with what you have,
That's the quote I was looking for.
And I think that was very motivating. I'm like, damn, that's right. Like, Fudgin, he could have easily, I'm 5'4", I'm sure I can't dunk, I can't do this, I can't do that. Screw it, why even do it?
Yeah. And I was actually having a talk with somebody at breakfast today about this. And I told them, I said, look, if only you know what you can achieve when you really get a hold of your mindset, But I believe in you. I believe that you can achieve so much. I can see it. I don't think that you quite can see it yet. Your mindset has come a long way. But I'm going to remind you in another year, remember the talk that we had. You know what I mean? And I'm very powerful. I'm very powerful on the mindset because I 1000% believe the mind is in control of everything. If you can crack the code and get a grasp on your mind, you will have a very joyous, fulfilled life. You know? And I'm like, some people, and I told this person, I said, man, people are like, oh, Coach Mo, well, look, Coach Mo is different. You know, I'm like, why am I different? I'm a human being. Every human is a human. You know what I mean? Everybody has a brain. Everybody has bad, dark places. Everybody has happy places. Everybody's been in a dark spot before, right? There's been places where I was in a fixed mindset, okay? There's been places where it was very bad. But it's how I perceived it. How did I talk to myself to get myself out of it? I don't have it yet. I don't have what I need yet, but I will have what I want. I will do what I need to do. I don't know how to do this yet, but I will figure it out. I'm not strong enough yet, but I will get stronger to figure it out. I'm not smart enough yet, but I will get smarter to figure it out. Everything is I will figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not, hey, I'm not smart enough, that's it. That's what I got. You know, I'm a bad dad, I'm a bad husband, I'm a bad athlete, I'm a bad boss, I'm a bad employee. Okay, that's a choice that you made, buddy. That's a decision that you made. All that can be different. You know, I do jiu-jitsu. I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt, right? You can be a white belt, you can be a black belt. You know, and I told people when I was a white belt and I became obsessed in jiu-jitsu, and I knew what the black belt was, right? And whether you believe in the belt system or not, but just look at it as a grading scale. White belt is the new guy. Black belt, it's the professional athlete. It's the entrepreneur, it's the business owner that has success. Okay? It's a guy that's mastered his craft. Put it that way. Okay? And we know in jiu-jitsu you can never master it as a black belt. It's another journey that you start. But just put it as that way. White belt is a new guy, a newbie. Black belt is a guy that mastered his craft. Okay? My goal when I first started was to become a black belt in everything I do. Now that's a work in progress. That's a journey. That's a marathon. That's not a sprint. But whatever I decide that I want to do, I'm going to do it as a black belt. If I'm going to be a businessman, I'm going to be a black belt businessman. I'm stuck with jiu-jitsu. I'm going to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu. If I'm going to be a husband, I'm going to be a dad, I'm going to be a brother, I'm going to be an athlete, I'm going to be a boss, I'm going to be a coworker, I'm going to be a black belt in that. I'm going to equip myself with the tools needed to become a black belt in that. Bottom line. I may not have them, but in this work of progress, in this journey, in this marathon, I'm going to acquire these tools and make it happen.
Yeah.
That's a growth mindset. It's not that I'm not a black belt, I suck at business. Well, you know what? I did suck at business. I sucked at business. I did not make money. I went broke. I've closed down so many businesses. I've lost so much money. But did that stop me? Was that the end of my journey? I sucked in jiu-jitsu. I got submitted thousands of times. Did I stop training jiu-jitsu? Or I kept coming back to train and learn new skills, acquire new skills, to get sharper, to get better at jiu-jitsu, to open an academy, to become a professor, to become a coach. There's resources out there to acquire education, acquire things that you need to get to the next level. You know? And again, mindset is very powerful to me because people need to understand that's what's limiting them to achieving what they want. If you complain again about not being the best boss, best brother, best husband, you know, best whatever it is, look at your mindset. Evaluate what you see. Evaluate how you see things. Evaluate what your mind tells you. You might have a rotten banana in there. That's why nothing looks healthy. Nothing looks good. Nothing makes you happy. You know what I mean? Some of the poorest people are the happiest people. Some of the richest people are the most miserable people.
Yep.
You know, me and you had a talk a few weeks ago, and we were talking about people in their work. And every time I talk to somebody, it's like, I got to work, man. Like, damn. It was this weekend. I was on the way to Nashville, I think. And I was getting a cup of coffee, and you guys asked me, like, what do you think? Like, are you ready for the tournament or something like that? Or how you feel? I forgot what the question was. And I said, man, I'm enjoying the ride. I'm at the point where I'm enjoying the ride. You know, and I said something along the lines like, I've dreamed of this. You know, I've dreamed of traveling and doing jiu-jitsu. Why should I stress out and cry about it and overthink and look at the negatives or the hardships of, hey, I gotta go compete, man, against another dude, and put pressure on myself. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's gonna be a hard match, but I'm blessed to have that hard match. I had a busy weekend. I had to come back Saturday night and teach a seminar. It's rough, right? Came back and taught past midnight. It's part of it. Now I can look at it the same way. You know, on the way back, it was like Nate was telling me, like, man, you got to go teach now, right? I'm like, yeah. We got home 9:30 at night. Grabbed my stuff, went straight to the academy, opened up. They pulled in the parking lot. I'm like, man, it's going to be tough, but I'm here. You know, and it's, I can also not have any of that, where I don't have none of that. Mm-hmm. You know? And so it's how you perceive things. Everything is how you perceive things. And so what I was getting to is, well, all these people are not happy at work. Well, do something about it. You know? You might have the job that you wanted, and then years in that same job, you got bored and sick of it. But what do you look at it? How do you look at that? You don't look at it as a blessing. You look at it as like, man, I got something.
Yeah. And
when you don't have that, you're not making that money no more, guess what's happened? You're still not happy.
Yeah.
So you weren't happy when you had the job and the position and the money. And then if you lose it, you're still not happy. So it comes back to your mind. What is your mind? How does your mind paint that picture?
100%. I agree. And you know what's crazy? I've noticed this a lot of my life. I notice people, when they're struggling, they run away. So they'll move to a new city, right? Or they'll move to I'm gonna move house. Or I'm gonna go somewhere, I will rearrange my house or whatever, right? Just change the environment where they're at. The reality of it is, wherever you go, that's where you go.
Yeah.
So your problems follow you wherever you go, even if you're in the Bahamas, right? It's beautiful, coconuts, nice turquoise water. You'll find something in your mind, that disease in your mind will come back and start rotting it from the inside out. You know, no matter how beautiful it is, because it's this right here, it's your mind that's rotting what you have, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, there's poor people, right? We might look at it like, damn, this fudging is a shithole right here, whatever, right? Like here in America, we got running water or whatever. For them, it's glistening. Because the way you look at it, they're grateful for it.
Yeah.
They love it, you know? One thing I was going to say that is, I forgot it. But one thing that is very powerful when it comes to mindset is your self-talk, you know? And this is something that not a lot of people talk about, which comes to how you talk to yourself, you know? Like, how should you talk to yourself when you encounter failure, when you encounter setbacks, when things don't go the way you want to go, you know? When you have disappointments. I think a lot of times the self-talk is what just reinforces that negative mindset and then just buries it even further into the ground, and it's hard to dig it out. Mm-hmm. So how do you talk to yourself even in the face of failure, and then in the face of just challenges and the uphill battle that is having to striving to achieve your goals?
So I have this, you know, again, like everybody has these challenges, right? And that's a very big point you brought up, is self-talk. Like, what do you tell yourself when this happens? When it's good, what do you tell yourself when it's bad? Now, when it's good, it's usually good. You're not going to be upset that something good happened to you, right? So, obviously, self-talk is still important. Let's talk about the good first, right? When good things happen. Because when good things happen, that's where people forget to be grateful. They forget that that's a blessing. And so they just take it as like just a whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, so self-talk should happen when it's good, and be like, hey, this gratitude. It's a blessing. Thank God for this. You know, thankful for this. You know, because this also can kind of keep you humble and kind of keep you on a straight track. Okay? Recognizing that it is a blessing to have good things happen to me. And also, self-talk is good when good things happen to you, to recognize that good things do happen to you. People don't recognize good things happen to them.
That's very powerful.
You know what I mean? And so that's why it's important to have, and I have struggled with this a lot, because I used to always ignore the good, right? Because I always want more. And in the last few years, I kind of had to catch myself, because I was going kind of beyond where I needed to go. And it's like, no, you have good things happen to you. You need to recognize that there is good things that are happening. And so if you don't have this self-talk, then you don't recognize it. So you're not as happier. You're not as happy. You don't have as much joy. You don't have as much fulfillment. And also try to keep yourself humble by having self-talk when good things happen. Now, on the other side, the bad, that's where the self-talk needs to happen. And people don't recognize, like, people see, like, okay, this guy is sharpening his sword. Like, this guy's sword is sharp. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's a businessman. He owns businesses. Oh, this guy's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Mm-hmm. Nobody's perfect. Everybody struggles. Everybody's fighting a battle that's unseen. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of things. I mean, there's a few times a week where something happens and I'm like, I'm just hitting things. I'm cussing a storm up in my mind. I'm upset. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Everything's falling apart on me, you know. This is going wrong. This is going wrong. And it's like, no, bro, chill. Breathe. Just breathe. You know what I mean? This can be fixed. Or I won't make the same mistake again. Mm-hmm. Or I will do better. Or I will work harder. Or I will find a solution.
Yeah.
You know? So I have to catch myself. Like, sometimes I start going on. I'm like, bro, just stop. And now this is where my self-talk comes in. Bro, you sharpen your sword. This is where it comes in. Is your sword sharp for this moment?
Yeah.
This is what you've been talking about. This is the moment that we've been talking about. Is my sword ready for it? Oh, and it's not quite ready. Okay. Start getting to work. Hey, I messed up here, but I'm going to fix it. Mm-hmm. You know? Or I'm not smart enough, or I don't have the capability, or I'm not good enough. Hey, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to get better. Just relax. You know?
Yeah.
So you have to catch yourself within, if not seconds, within minutes. Sometimes it takes hours. But I think you need to catch yourself within that same day.
Yeah.
Something bad happened, negative. Okay. Do you have any examples off the top of your mind?
Not right now.
You know, but anything that happens, okay? Friggin', let me think. A crazy bill that comes up. Well, guess what? If you don't got the money, you got to go make the money. You got to figure it out. You know, there's been plenty of times where I had to figure it out quick. You know what I mean? Guess what? I have to put in more hours. I'm not going to cry, oh, man, like, damn, this happened. You know, I'll only work 40 hours a week this week, and I'm not going to work another few hours. No, you got to go work those few hours, buddy. But it's reevaluating that self-talk and saying, hey, I can do it. It's going to be okay. It is capable. I am capable, you know, of achieving this.
100%. I remember one time I crashed my car, right? And I was upset, right? Like, budget had to pay like $3,000 to fix it. But I was like, man, I'm upset about having to fix this and having to spend this money. At least I have a car, and I have this problem. I could have the problem not having a car. Mm-hmm. You know, but Jan, you get for example, you get a ticket for texting and driving. You should be grateful you at least got a phone and a card where you get that ticket. You know, they can't give you a ticket for walking and texting. You know what I'm saying? So
somebody talking from experience.
Now, what do you say about this? You kind of talked about I think this is also very negative self-talk. It's pretty much when good things happen for you. Let's say you achieve a goal, or you had a great performance, like in a competition or whatever, and you came out on the good side, right? And you look at it like, well, I was supposed to do that, or that's what's expected of me, and you don't obviously you don't want to pat yourself too much on the back, but you need to pat yourself not even once. Like, you don't need to feel like proud of yourself. You're just like, well, that's what I was supposed to do. Like, that's expected of me. Like, that's nothing to really celebrate.
Yeah. So it's making me laugh because this is like that's like I remember myself when I was younger, you know, and dude, it was like there was no good job. Like, I didn't believe in good job. You know, it's like everything was like expected. You achieved this, you got that done, okay. What's next? So I never took a moment to do this, right? And I don't like doing this. Who really likes doing that, right? But at least I give it myself a thumbs up. And so what happened because of that is I realized you have less gratitude for that thing happening. When now I say it like, I say this thing is like, I'm grateful, but I'm not satisfied. You know, I have gratitude towards this thing, but I'm not satisfied yet because I want more. So what I'm doing is, it may kind of not make sense, right? Is I'm saying I'm accepting the fact that, thank God, I'm grateful for it. I'm happy this happened to me. Good job on achieving it, but now keep working harder. I've accepted that I've got it done. I saw the success, but you need to keep working.
Yeah.
Whereas before is that there was none of that. They're like, oh, what are you trying to celebrate? What did you do? What's so like? Okay, you won a local tournament. Go win the world championship.
Yeah.
You know, you made X amount of dollars. Go make this much more dollars. You know what I mean? And so, I think it's very important of celebrating, and celebrating is a big term of achievements. And if you're not gonna celebrate with, like, I'm not saying go rent a big banquet hall and put a party, right? But celebrate by saying, hey Mo, good job. Be proud of yourself. Or your younger, I tell myself now, like, your younger self will be proud. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so back in the day, man, it wasn't none of that. It wasn't none of that. And so you got to recognize, hey, you saw success and you achieved it. Good job. Keep it up. You've earned it. I tell people there's no deserving. You've earned it. You know, think about it a little bit. You know, marinate in it a little bit and move on.
Yeah.
You know, and this is because, you know, I keep telling people, it depends on the level of what you want to achieve. Everything goes back to the level of what you want to achieve. You know, what floats your boat may not float my boat.
100%. So, one thing I did want to talk about, right, which is happened very recently, you know, the election passed by, and that was a shit show. There's two parts, right? There's one side, and there's the other side, right? There's left and the right. So people that were on, like, the Republican side, they're like, oh, if Kamala wins, it's going to be hellfire. The country's screwed, right? And then it's effed, and I'm going to be effed, and the whole country's going to be effed, right? And then, but if Trump wins, it's going to be heaven, right? And the people that wanted Kamala win, oh, if Kamala wins, it's going to be heaven. Mm-hmm. But if Trump wins, it's going to be hell, right? Like, these are already mindsets that they're already convinced. If this person wins, this is the outcome. If this person loses, this is going to be the outcome. And they, like, their whole life is just that, you know? Just surrounded around the politics, just surrounded about going back and forth with people online, you know? And then people think, right, regardless of whether Trump win or not, or any president, right? They think that that person wins, automatically my life is going to be better. Mm-hmm. You know? No, and damn well, not once the president has came to your house and put food on your table or fix you up a sandwich, you know? So what do you guys say about that? It's like people that are too hooked up on that, right? Not just, okay, you like politics, you care about your country, but you're so hooked up on that you believe that you're going to do well if a certain person is in the White House.
I'm gonna open up to two cameras with Gio and I. So, man, this is gonna ruffle some feathers probably, okay? First of all, I'm gonna start by saying I respect the president, doesn't matter who it is. That's something that this country has lost. Mm-hmm. Okay. At the end of the day, that's the president of the United States. Doesn't matter who it is. That's the president of the United States. You have to have respect for that. Okay. Now, in society or the elites, they kind of tore that up. And so people cuss their president out. They try to do crazy things to the president. There's slurs and all that. Okay. There's no dignity in there. That's your president, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the first thing I want to start with. And the second thing is, and people are going to be like, well, that's extreme. I don't give a damn who the president is. I do not give a damn who the president is. Kamala, Biden, Trump, Obama, Bush, doesn't matter. Kennedy, doesn't matter who it is. To me, I'm not going to let that person decide of my life, decide how much money I make, decide how I feed my family, decide what me and my family do. Just bottom line, that's not going to happen. Okay? So what's happening is the fixed mindset that we talked about. People are fixed, and people in politics don't want to admit this. They're either fixed on Democrat or they're fixed on Republican. Bottom line, if you say otherwise, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
No, I'm going with Trump because of the values that we share. I'm going with Biden because of the values we share, or Kamala because of the values we share. Quit lying to yourself. You're either blue or you're red. Okay, that's the first thing. All right? And if you are letting somebody, and to a certain extent, a very small thing, okay, why do they have that much control of your life? Like, I can't even have a talk with somebody today when it's always about Kamala or Trump. Just shut up. Move on. You think Trump even knows who you are? You think Kamala knows who you are? Okay, and I've given this example. Over 10 years ago, it was like the start of my business journey. Like 12 years ago, right? 12, 13 years ago. And I didn't have nothing, bro. Who was in office back then? 12, 13 years ago? What was that?
Obama?
Maybe Obama? You know, right after, 2008 was 16 years ago, right?
Yeah.
2008 was 16 years ago. And he was the other term afterwards, right? Or no?
He started in 2008.
He started in 2008, and he stayed 8 years, okay?
Yeah.
But he was into office, right? And people said, okay, he's the worst president, the bad president, and whatnot, right? They obviously, the Republicans say this about the Democrats. Okay, when Obama was in office, bro, I didn't have money. I didn't even know that Obama had that much influence on me making money. I was on the street in worst parts of town and cities, okay, as an 18-year-old dude trying to make a hustle. Who gives a damn? Democrat or Republican. Now, is the whole country going to have an effect from the president? Yeah, okay. I'm not going to let them decide how much money I make or how I'm going to feed my family or how I'm going to live, or I'm going to give them all this energy because it's red or blue. Okay? Fast forward many years later. Okay, people forget this. Who shut the country down?
Donald Trump.
Who put vaccinations?
Trump.
Who put social distancing?
Same dude.
Who shut the businesses down? The mom and pop's businesses down. Who was in office? Trump. Guess what? All my business got shut down from Trump.
Yeah.
Did I stop? No, I figured another way out to make money.
You could have stopped, though.
I could have stopped. But did I stop? No, I didn't stop. Why am I going to stop? Okay? Biden comes into office. Did I stop? Trump is in office. Did I stop?
Yeah.
No, I don't give a damn. Why are you going to let them influence your life that much? But I tell you why. Because the fixed mindset, they don't have anything better to focus on. This is their entertainment. This negative energy is entertainment. They want to get in this battle of going back and forth of, this person is the best for my country. This person is the best for my country. Well, okay. Most people are gonna know me know which way I'm probably going to sway with the politicians, right? Trump is the one that shut the country down. He's the one that did the vaccination. Don't say that the people around him influenced him and this. He's the president.
Yeah.
He's the president, bottom line. It happened in his term. Okay? People forgot that. but they're fixed on Republican. You know what I mean? Any businessman is going to tell you, who gives a damn? Democrat or Republican? Recession or depression? Who gives a damn? At the end of the day, growth mindset. You decide your future. Nobody decides my future. Bottom line, nobody's going to decide my future. I don't let it get to my mind, Democrat or Republican. I at all, 0%, I don't care.
Yeah.
The people that are too much stuck with it are lacking somewhere else.
100%. It's like saying, it doesn't matter who's in the presidential office. It matters who's in your office.
You know, that's it. So I think people need to move on with this and kind of get a life and don't be so stuck up on it. Like, people are so political these days. Like, everything is political. Like, I don't know, like, if it's always been like this, or is this because of social media, or people are just, with the whole Trump era, like, it's become so magnified. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, again, that's the president of the United States. It doesn't matter who it is. I respect the president of the United States. Bottom line. That's the president of your country. You have to have respect. And we lost that. That's the problem. At the end of the day, there's still an American in office. Okay? And the Americans are forgetting that they're fighting other Americans over who's in office. Mm-hmm. When did this happen? You know what I mean? But it goes back to, like, why are you worried about who's in office? You need to figure it out for yourself. There's things that you can do to make money. There's ways, and I'm talking about money, guys. I like business, okay? But there's it doesn't matter which side is in office. You can still make money. I made money with the Democrats in office. I made money with the Republicans in office. Mm-hmm. Simple. It's not easy, but the recipe is simple.
Amen. Amen.
You know? What do you think of the whole thing?
I think it's true. I mean, but you can sit home and cry about it, get angry about it. But at the end of the day, whether you really want Kamala to win, or you really want Trump to win, none of them are going to come in and make money for you. They'll send you maybe $2,000 check, $6,000 check talking about child credit, right? Okay.
Better have some kids, cuz.
Right? But who cares? At the end of the day, they're not going to impact your life to a point where it's going to create generational wealth. There's not going to be, it was my life before Trump, and then this is my life after Trump. They're not going to make income for you. They're not going to make you smarter. They're not going to feed your family. They don't care about your family. Like, that's your family. That's your duty at the end of the day. If there was no government, who's going to take care of your family? Mm-hmm. You. It always comes down to ultimate self-responsibility, self-reliability. And I think, like you said, people are too fixed up. And I think that's what they want. They want people to fixed up, so they don't realize how effed up the country is. And at the end of the day, this country's effed up. The real reason why this country's effed up, because the individual American in this country is effed up. If every American was mentally healthy.
Shots fired.
If everybody was mentally healthy, in the right mindset, had focus, was involved, this country wouldn't be where it's at. Mm-hmm. But we just like to point fingers and not actually help ourselves, you know?
Yeah. Very powerful, Giovanni. Very powerful. And guys, we're going to start wrapping it up. Growth mindset or fixed mindset, which one are you? Okay. And feel free to shoot us messages, questions, whatever it is you got. Let us know in the comments on YouTube, Spotify, on social media. Let us know what you guys think, okay? We want to hear your feedback, all right? Mindset, guys. That's just one of the swords. That's one of the swords that you need to sharpen every single day. Reading books, okay? Increasing your intelligence. Reading books, listening to podcasts, listening to positive things, positive speakers, positive athletes, okay? Working out to expand the mind, not just the body, but working out and putting yourself through hard, intense training creates neuroplasticity, okay? It helps increase the mindset, strengthen the mindset, okay? Which will give you a different outlook on life, okay? It will give you more confidence. It will let you see more solutions rather than problems all the time, okay? And so sharpen the sword every single day, guys, so you can achieve what you want. Because at the end of the day, you have to be there for yourself, for your family, okay? And you want to be sharp, so you're there for yourself, your family, your community, and your country, okay? You want to be an asset, okay? You don't want to be a liability, all right? And so sharpen your sword, guys, every day. Thanks for tuning in to episode 31 of Sharpen Your Sword Podcast, and I'll see you on the next episode of Sharpen Your Sword Podcast. Peace out, guys.